Basics in Audition. Um, you want to open a song in here, so you would go to File and Open, um, and then navigate to your song that you want to use. We'll use that one. And then it will open here, and you'll also see it over here. But anyway, if we're just going to do one song, we'll get that far and do that. Um, anyway, if you play here's where all your instruments are to work it. You can play, and you'll be able to hear um, the music play along there and so forth. Okay, now for this project, all we want are 15 seconds or shorter. I'd say 10 to 20 seconds. We need to cut this down before we start. Now down here at the bottom, you can see these stretch and so forth. Okay, so now you can see that my timeline, I've got it down into smaller segments. And so what I want to do is I want to delete everything except about 15 seconds. So I'm going to, using my select tool, I'll just select like that and hit delete. And let's see, there's 5, 10, we'll go about right there, and I'll delete the rest of that. Alright, so now I'm left with about 13 and a half seconds, and that's what I'm going to mess with. For number 1 on my list, we're supposed to be speeding up a song track. So to do that, once you've cut it down to 13 and a half seconds or so, go up to Effects, and we're going to go to Time and Pitch. Alright, stretch and pitch here. And so for this, stretching makes it longer or shorter. Pitch makes it higher or lower. And we want to make sure that it's unlocked because this will allow us to speed it up without affecting the sound of what it sounds like, or to slow it down so it doesn't get that warpy sound. We want to keep them unlocked. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is speed up, so that would be stretch. Right now it's at 100%, so if we want it to go faster, extends process. Okay, if we want it to be faster, then let's say 50%. And you can click here and, oops, I guess I need to take the playhead back to the beginning. Okay, so see, it took about 7.5 seconds to do that. Okay, that would be speeding it up. Okay, if we want to stretch it, instead of being 100%, let's stretch it to 200%. So now, it doesn't affect the sound of her voice, but it makes it a lot slower. Alright, then now this is just a test and see. When you've got it where you want it, you click apply. Alright, then that would be number 2. For number 3, we're going to shorten it by 50%, the time and the pitch. So on that, we'll go back to 50% here, and then we'll shorten this also. The pitch, will just can adjust the pitch whether you want it higher or lower. So, you know, like if you do it like that, you'll get something like this. And that sounds like chipmunks. Okay? Alright, so that's 1, 2, and 3 for tempo and pitch. And each one, once you've got it and you've applied it, then you would go up to File, and you would export it, and you'll see that it would save it as an MP3 file. So that's what you'll want to do. Okay, then for number 4, the envelope feature. The envelope feature is up here in Effects again, and it is in the first one, amplitude and compression, and we're going to do a fade envelope. Alright, and when we open this up, we've got all these presets, and when you click on one, you can see where these little bars allow you to adjust it. And so basically what that can do is that just kind of allows you to be able to, the song is in full range and then it gets kind of quiet and then it goes back up and gets loud. So if you had somebody who, like if you're doing a commercial and they needed to talk right there, then that's kind of what you do with the envelope. Um, there's just different ones you just have to find. You can even do a zigzag so it goes in and out, but then you can also adjust them. Okay, that's envelope number 4. Numbers 5 through 16, you're going to do 12 different effects. You choose. You can do this all to the same song, or you can choose different songs for all of it. The effects are all up here. So you can just pick any of these. Okay, so if I do like a filter, I can go and choose perhaps this one. And every one of them, once you click on an effect, you're going to have all these presets. So you can pick one and just listen to what it sounds like. This one, it kind of sounds like there's extra band members in there. And they're just all different. I don't know. That one's not a big change there. Okay, some other effects that you would find would be like in special, like distortion. For example, here's Swamp Thing. Okay, so this one kind of gives it a spooky sound kind of thing. Or, I don't know, whatever that is. Okay, so, and again, on each one of them, when you find the sound you want, apply it, and then you'll go to File and Export and save it as an MP3. Okay, I do not want you doing number 17 or 18. And then 19, make multi-track songs. So on this, you're going to go to File and New, and you want a multi-track section. You'll name it. Every time you do this, you'll name it and tell it where to save it at. Click OK. Alright, when you do multi-track, you see that you have several tracks here. So you'll need to just drag your songs over here. So I'm going to drag this to 1. Oh, that's down there on 4. Let's move it up to 3. Drag this one over here. And again, you can move these wherever you want. Like, let's move this over here and move this one over here. Anyway, what you're going to do here is you're going to trim these down to 10 seconds each, and then you're going to have this one start in, fade out, and then you'll have the second one start in. So, for example, on this one, I can take these little markers and I can kind of fade. Should be able to fade that. It's not fading very well. I can kind of fade that one out, and then on this one I can kind of fade that in, and then you can kind of decide, do I want this to kind of start just as that one's ending, or do I want a little space in between, or whatever. So you'll do one song for 10 seconds, the second song for 10 seconds, and the third song for 10 seconds. And then when you're finished, you would go to File and Export, and this time you're going to do a multi-mix mix down the entire session, and that will put them all into one track and save it as an MP3. Alright, you need to read the directions and also do the Word document that goes with it, and put all of this in a file in your Google Drive labeled Audition.